want to talk about the qualifying matches, which I think is pretty cool. Which part of me I feel like is kind of lame, just because it's like, okay, like it's like we're used to having Elimination Chamber be for one of the world titles, and now it's like, yes, we get it. Roman has to be double champion, and he's gonna possibly face Sammy, and maybe because I wouldn't be surprised if that's not a title match. I honestly would not be surprised if he faces Sammy and it's non-title. I would not be surprised at all, but that's just my thoughts. So they're setting up what is traditionally the WWE or World Heavyweight title in an Elimination Chamber. It's now the US title. So Theory will be facing 5 other dudes in the Elimination Chamber. So we had Chad Gable versus Seth Rollins, which obviously
can I just talk about Chad Gable for a second?
Yes.
I feel he should be pushed to the moon in 2023.
I think we might see that, though. Remember, I didn't put a note for us to talk about it, but I don't know what they're planning on doing with the Maximum Male Models and Otis. It looks like they were going to possibly be recruiting him to join the Maximum Male Models. So if they're going to be taking Otis away and having him join that, then that frees up Gable. So,
or you could feud with them, with the Maximum Male Models,
I guess,
and them to tease a breakup, or I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
you gotta give some sort of credibility to the Maximum Male Models. I'm sorry, they're just a sideshow act, and the thing is that they can wrestle. We've seen it.
Well,
in
yeah,
NXT.
and I think that that's something that obviously Vince started and Triple H got stuck with, and I think that he's trying to keep it together because that was their original plan. But I'm sure he doesn't really have an alternate at this moment, like an alternative idea, because I mean, like I that's not easy, especially when it's 2 guys and a girl. It's not easy to just come up with like a new storyline to get them involved. They're not over either way, good or bad.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, but I am interested to see if we continue to see them trying to get Otis, because I feel like that could be just so funny. Like that could be a really funny storyline.
Hilarious. Imagine Otis doing like calendar shoots.
Oh my god, I know. So Chad Gable, Seth Rollins.
Singlet.
It was a good match, good back and forth the whole time. Obviously, Rollins wins with a pedigree, so he was the first one to be added to the Elimination Chamber.
Was incredible. The roll up into the pedigree, like that's what I'm talking about.
I love that he's still using the pedigree. I love that.
Yeah.
And then we got Baron Corbin versus Johnny Gargano. Why was this a match? Is my notes. And Corbin is so icky, and it all just doesn't make sense. That's all.
I think Corbin is very good in the ring.
I'm not saying he's not, but I'm not interested in him whatsoever. And
wrestling, so of course then you're gonna be interested somewhat.
I'm not interested in his storyline at all. I'm not interested in any of it.
What if he becomes US champ?
I still wouldn't care. Why do I have to
Johnny
care?
Gargano became US champ. You wouldn't care.
I'm talking about Baron Corbin. Who are you talking about?
Johnny Gargano. Johnny Wrestling.
Oh, yes, I like Johnny Gargano. I'm saying Baron Corbin. Okay. I don't care about Corbin at all. I don't.
I think he's a great heel. I think he's a great character.
I love that we had the return of Dexter Lumis. Corbin basically dominated the whole time. I feel like it was I don't know, maybe it wasn't obvious, but I kind of felt like because we had Rollins was the first guy and we already had Theory in, I kind of had a feeling that it was going to be Gargano that was going to be the next one. I just had
I got worried. I got worried for a second. We were going to
So did I. But
I got real worried.
I mean, obviously he brought out Lumis for a reason. I knew that they weren't going to just have him stand there. So Corbin was dominating.
The 10-gallon cap.
I know. I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
God.
I'm sorry.
So it was mostly dominated by Corbin like the whole time. JBL looked like he was about to interfere. He takes off his hat and puts it on the announce desk, which he then throws. I don't know. It's very weird. And then Lumis reveals that he has a hatchet. So people were saying it was an axe. I think it was a hatchet because it was too small. And then he throws it down into the hat, which was kind of terrifying. He just like whipped that hatchet like out of his pants. I was like, you felt safe with that in your pants, sir? Okay. So that helps. Gargano rolls up Corbin with a small package to win. And then the commentators are acting terrified of Lumis, which I thought was hilarious.
It's so funny.
He's just standing there. Like he's just standing there.
If that type of character would be so not well received if done by anyone else.
Yeah.
But Loomis legitimately looks so fucking terrifying that I'm even kind of like, all right, I'm not gonna make eye contact with this guy. I'm not.
You know what?
And
You know
yeah.
who scared me more? It was when at the Rumble when Bray like put the mask on and then was like chasing LA Knight like through the
Oh, I
ramp
was
or whatever, and
yeah.
he was hitting him and he just like would stop or he would just keep going. I was like, that is what nightmares are made of. That is what nightmares are made of. Like
That
a
is
man that
nightmare
you're like
fuel.
you're trying to like shoot him and he just like keeps going like nothing. Like I was like, that is terrifying.
He was just
Um
no so it was incredible. It was
but Loomis,
incredible.
I would look at him. I would look at him in his eyes. He's a good looking man. So then we had Bronson Reed versus Dolph Ziggler, probably the most obvious result that you could have predicted, which was Bronson Reed was going to win. I still don't understand it. I mean, he you know,
No
I don't
talent.
get the appeal. But good for Dolph Ziggler for being a good sport and always being that guy that's like, yeah, I'll put anyone over. Sure, whatever.
He can't at this
Um
point.
and then we already have next week's matchups, which are going to be Angelo Dawkins versus Damian Priest and Montez Ford versus Elias.
Aw, why can't it be the other way? Well,
I don't know what's going to happen in here. I feel like it's kind of random that they have Priest in it, but I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just saying, like, like, out of all the guys that they could choose, they choose this like Damian Priest out of Judgment Day. I felt like okay.
yeah, and Edge is gonna
Um,
come in and interfere. Dawkins gets in, and then Ford beats Elias clean, and then you have the Street Profits in
poor
there.
Elias.
I know,
Um, I
poor
know he's
guy.